Good morning, Voodoo. Morning, plot twist in the back. What's going on, gents?
What's up, man? I'm a little disappointed you shaved your stash, but you're looking good.
Yeah, I went a couple days with it. Got a couple funny looks on the golf course the one day I went, and yeah, got a little self conscious about it.
They're just jealous, man. They're just jealous. That's it. But man, uh, crypto markets really suck. It's a
Yeah,
depressing
we were just
times right
talking about
now.
this. I just got the amazing news that I can now travel, uh, and we're back at the prices that I entered this market in. Um, so I don't know how much traveling I'm going to do yet.
Yeah. No, we got a trip we're going on this weekend. It's like a I don't know, a multi-week trip, but we planned it several months ago, and the trip is looking more like pack a cooler with sandwiches. But
Get your ramen.
yes, no, but it's man, it's great having such a good community that we've got with Potluck and on Fantom and AVAX. Just seeing, I think the NFT community is special, and I think it's because even though the price is down and your stuff's not worth really at all in US dollar value what it was, you still have art, you still have what the projects were building towards, and so unlike coins that go to zero, you still have something, and I think there's still a lot of hope. And so yeah, man, I've been really impressed with how our community has handled it. I know a lot of people are hurting out there, especially people who invested for short-term gains or just more of that gambler's mindset. Most people are losing the gamble right now, but yeah, man, hopeful for the future. I know we've got some incredible stuff planned, and there's a lot of builders doing some really awesome stuff both on AVAX and Phantom right now. And so yeah, that's just kind of where my initial thoughts are right now, man.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you touched on that because as I was mentioning it to Illuminati Congo earlier on a live, like when I when I just think about my own situation and all of this, had it not been for the NFT communities and the strength behind it all, like these would be really dark times. Um, there's a lot of risk to this whole industry, but the rallying around NFTs and the way the communities has come. Um,
Yeah.
Yesterday was something really interesting, like the whole Goblin Town thing. To find out that Goblin Town was released by an awesome little NFT team, just as a bear market, like bring people together thing, and now the team has doxed, come out, kind of joined the projects together, and really rallied people around it. I think it's incredible. And now because of this bear market meme that they created, they're now reaching Yuga Labs level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even know that, man. Been so busy moving, missed out on that yesterday. But no, it's incredible. Um, Yeah, I think that this is. I totally agree, man. If we rewind this to like last August or July, before when I was just investing and trying to day trade and just trying to make money, in this market without a community, just kind of doing it on my own. Yeah, man. There's no chance I'd still be around. I think I would have got knocked out. I probably still would invest in like Bitcoin and stuff. Um, but yeah, would have been knocked out. But it was finding the potluck community, finding the Phantom NFT scene that got me, dude. I'm hooked. You can't unplug me from this matrix now, or vice versa. You can't plug me back into the matrix.
Well, and I think people got to realize like just how big of a moment this is. I mean, we're going through probably the biggest crash in crypto history. So congratulations to everybody that is surviving it. This is historic. Uh, Two is the idea that like, and the builders, everybody that's still here, we're back to this is. I keep seeing the sentiment about weeding out all the bad people. Like this is a great example of anybody that didn't have the right intentions is probably now not in the space.
Yeah,
So now you really get to see who's here to build, who's here to benefit the community, uh, and it's been everybody that we thought. Like there's no surprises at all in this Phantom community. Um, Everybody's still here building. Everybody's still coming together. I'm seeing awesome stuff happening with Discord starting to merge. I seen Teens just announced that the gimmicks born community is going to be joining the Teens Discord. Um,
Yeah.
the partnerships that we're pulling off, the cross chain building community building that's happening, dude. I just look at this as an incredible opportunity for people.
Yeah.
Um, it's amazing to think that Fantom is back at the price that we entered, or I entered this at, when we didn't have anything on Fantom to do. There was literally F Wallet back when Fantom was this price. And
It's
now we
crazy.
have over 400 protocols built, over 1,000 NFT collections, an incredible community that is only ever expanding. And we're at the same, like, this is now an entry point for new people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's exciting. I mean, you see people who maybe they're taking $100 out of every paycheck, or whatever, just a small amount, relatively small amount each paycheck, and now they're saying, man, I can actually buy 5 times, 10 times what I was buying a couple months ago in Fantom or an AVAX. And yeah, so now the projects are still the same cost. NFTs still are roughly holding the same levels in terms of Fantom or AVAX, and so it is a big chance to accumulate. And I'm not telling people to go, you know, to go crazy because the market's going to turn around tomorrow, so you have some big profit. But I do believe it's going to turn around, whether it's a year from now. If I believe there's two things, I think the Bitcoin halvening is always a catalyst, but then globally, I think that the November elections in the U.S. are going to be a big catalyst, because there's no chance in the U.S. of a party just getting reelected when the economy is going to crap. So they've got to do things that manipulate the money supply, that pump money into the economy, do things to make people feel like things are being better. And when that happens, that's when people go back to investing, feeling bullish on the markets. And so that's the hope I have, that it's not just going to be like this long, you know, 2 year or year and a half bear market before the next happening. I think we just need the global, we need the money faucets turned back on. And even though I also feel like that's bad, like that is not what should really be done, I think that is when risky, risky markets do well, is when there's excess money supply going. So, but yeah, man, in the meantime, since our last show, we partnered with Campfire. We had that in the works, but we hadn't announced it yet. Um, and so, yeah, we made that announcement about a week and a half ago. Incredible. It's taken some getting used to for our Fantom users, to with our last mint being the first one that's only on Campfire for Fantom, and because it's a new experience. But I'm so impressed with that team, Moonbags and the rest of the team. They're grinders. They work nonstop. If you give them any feedback of something that needs to be tweaked, needs to be fixed, like, they're on it right away. Um, I feel like they're a lot like us, where they've built what they built, regardless of whether they got any support from the big higher ups, who may be supporting bigger protocols. And so I just feel like they're grinders, and I feel like they're here for the right reasons. And I couldn't be more happy with our partnership with them. And we love NFT Key. And this is like shifting away from that was just a strategic move for us to basically have ownership, to be able to make a profit, to add utility to our tokens, was very important to us. And so we have been talking about it, like, during this bear market, we want to either build or buy or have a partnership that brings in revenue with a marketplace, because obviously we have big plans to continue growing our projects and continue being on more chains, and bring in more volume and more users into the ecosystem. And so I just feel like this has been such a pivotal first step. And man, it's going to be huge. And I know some people I've talked, they got a different rarity system and stuff. It takes some getting used to. But I actually think, and I'll ask you about this. You can comment on the partnership, but then also on their rarity system, because I actually think it's a very healthy system, where it doesn't rank things like one through the worst ranking. It ranks them on this scale, so everything gets a number, and the higher the number, the more rare it is, I guess. but it doesn't rank them in order. And so I feel like it helps protect floors better. And I think that's what you're seeing in the AVAX community, because they look at something and they don't say, oh, well, that's one of the least rare ones. Automatically, I'm just going to put that under the floor. And so I think it'll be really healthy for our community going forward. But then also another partnership is we officially partner with NFTers to be our cross-chain rarity partner. So if you don't like their rarities, NFTers does have a one through the end, and it takes into account the omni-chain aspect. So if we're on 2, 3, 4 chains, it aggregates it all. Also, it's adding up the sales volumes, like everything for us. And so really excited about that partnership. They've been an amazing team to work with. So yeah, those are two big partnerships in the last week and a half. And so yeah, what are your thoughts on those?
Yeah, to start, I'll start with NFT tiers. That's huge. The ability to offer omni-chain collections. I mean, we're their first ever ones. I think we're the first ever omni-chain collection that has overall collection rarity. Uh, we're trying to kind of blaze some trails here. They're an incredible partnership. I love what they're building. The fact that it's an app, and that is, they've got the right mindset going forward. And much like the Campfire team, who again, just been incredible to work with. And I do want to mention the rarity thing, because I'm not a big fan of the rank system. Uh, it was fun in the beginning, but like, again, you get into this the idea that the more marketplaces that pop up, the more rarity systems that pop up, all of a sudden, uh, your rank 8 on NFT Key is a rank 250 on PaintSwap. Um, so like, to me, I like the kind of rarity score thing, and I know that's how a lot of tools operate on Solana and Ethereum. So I do think it does provide more of a healthier collection mentality, and it also that's been my rarity mentality from the get go. I've always had the understanding of whoever makes the algorithm, dictates the rarity.
Yeah.
So rarity is super nuanced,
Yeah.
um, and it should be, looked at that way.
Well, we get in that it's like a reoccurring argument slash discussion in the Phantom Maxi chat we're in about the ancestral humans rarity.
Mhm.
And so it's like this, we always go back to like, well, because what is it? It goes from like 3 attributes up to 8. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And so there's only a certain amount of like 3 attribute and then a certain amount of 8. And but then like a 6 attribute is the most common. But within the 6, you might have some very uncommon features. And so it's a mess and it's
Yeah.
really hard. And we've had conversations with them with NFT Key. Like we've gotten so upset with each other, we're like, we're gonna blast NFT Key about this because they need to give us answers. And still, it doesn't help because it is nuanced and it is, just depends on what somebody puts in the algorithm, and then how they change it because they're like, oh, people aren't happy, let's change it. So, for me, I've always just had the mindset, and I think you as a collector, you've done such a good job even on Twitter of taking certain attributes that you're like, hey, this trait is rare
Mhm.
or there's very few with this one thing, and aesthetically these look awesome, they're set apart in how they look. I always think back to the apocalyptic apes
Yeah.
that you got me
Mhm.
into on ETH, and I'm not mad about it, we made a profit, but you drug me into that. And so with those, what was it the naked body
Yeah.
that yeah.
Yeah.
So there was only a few of them, and you would just keep posting about, hey, there's only this many total, and there's only like 3 listed for sale, or there's only like 3 under 1 ETH, and then it goes to 5 ETH or whatever. And so I think that's the way to go. And I love what the Astro kids have done. Teens was a genius, and it took up 2 months for this to even catch on, where he took certain traits that he liked and made team captains for him and then put those up for sale. It took like 2 months for those captains to all
Mhm.
sell. And then once they sold and it became a thing, um, dude, like those traits went crazy. The floor values, it has nothing to do with their rarity. It's just that this trait means something. I'm a part of a club. And so I don't know what all Bot Boy is going to do with this, but we talked. And so you all might want to do some scouting on what you think might be the rare or like the traits he might choose. But I know he went to teens for some mentoring on this. And I said, dude, your project, the chickens are set up perfectly for a
Yep.
similar thing because he's like teens, or he has a world in his head that he's building. Um, and so I was like, dude, that's what you need to do. Don't just focus on like, oh, well, what can we do to fix the floor or move on to the next gen? I was like, man, let's take advantage of the fact that this is just such an amazing project, but there are really some specific traits that look really good and are really unique. We can do something fun with that. So then I just handed it off, said, you talk to teens, because I mean he's the wizard on this. And I know that they've worked out they've got some really good ideas going. So I'm really excited to see what Bot Boy does. Um, Last thing, because I keep talking here, but Steve P in our Discord, he posted. So if you're in our Discord, just go to the lab section. I think it's in the lab section of the Discord in the last couple of days, and he posted how he handles selling. So like when he
I've seen
buys,
this.
and then what he does with selling, and it's amazing. Like he just picks out certain traits that are more rare. And then he'll list them. Like if he wants to list, he'll list like 40 or 50% above floor and just waits, and they always sell, you know. And so he was just trying to teach people about, like, even in these markets you can make great profits on projects even when the floor is not really moving, if you just have a strategy. And so I thought that was really cool. I'm not much of a trader with my NFTs. I'm like you, we just kind of accumulate, and then occasionally we'll sell a few. But I think it's important for our community to know how to make a profit. And that's important for me, that everyone who's in our community makes a profit. And so if the floors aren't really moving, how do you make a profit? Well, by some of these, these strategies on how to pick out what's actually more valuable. So
Yeah, and that's to touch on the trace thing again. Like that's how nuanced rarity is the fact that, back to the naked apes example, people were sleeping on the naked apes because naked or no clothing was not a listed attribute. So that didn't even remotely go into the rarity equation. So again, like no rarity tool had picked up on that at any point because it wasn't even in the metadata. So you can have like a lot of those instances that pop up where it doesn't even almost exist as a trait or an attribute. I guess that's the big difference between, paint swap and NFT key is at the moment, is that NFT key equates for um, how many traits pieces have, where paint swap
hmm
doesn't equate for that. But you know, each platform is going to be different, and
yeah,
like you said, there might only be a certain amount of traits of this one trait within a 6 trait piece. And
yeah,
that rarity isn't that's not, accounted for whatsoever.
yeah. And there's this. I want to know your opinion on this, because I've we don't get a lot of backlash about it, but there is certainly some backlash that happens. There's just people who get upset when with these omni-chain collections, where they buy something thinking it's going to be rare, but then somebody bridges something else over and it's more rare. Or like, they're just not paying attention. And so let's say that someone takes a rare AVAX trait real quickly, bridges to Phantom, it shows up as like the rarest thing on Phantom. So and they list it high, and somebody's not really paying attention that, oh, there's all these one-to-one legendaries, and then there's this random, not doesn't even look that good one, but it's ranked above, I'm going to pay a bunch of money for it. And then they realize 20 minutes later, now there's 50 moved over, and they wouldn't have made that mistake. So somebody said, well, I think it's on the NFT projects to create their own rarity, like to post the rarity so there's no confusion. I personally disagree with it. I would be happy and fine if there was no rarity. If people
Yeah,
had to just
exactly.
click through and look through the
Yep.
traits, like I like doing that on OpenSea, more than buying on OpenSea because I don't buy much. I love looking through the collection. So like when I had Psychedelic Anonymous, I was collecting those. Now I made tons of money off those. I'm bummed that I don't have it because now they're doing something really cool with the project now. But I would just click through and look at, out of all these assets, which ones are very rare for each category. And then I'd look at the prices, and I would be like, man, should I snipe this one? Because there's only like two listed and one's listed at half the cost. And then should I list mine higher? And so I had a lot of fun with that, but you can't really do that on the NFT key system, because the overarching thing is, well, yeah, you might think this is cool, but then the rarity rank is still going to say it's not. So that's always been my biggest issue with it, and I think that leads to That might be one of the big reasons that the floors just are the way they are on Phantom, is that people just will 100%, they'll always just default to, well, this is lower ranked. I'm just going to drop it, drop the price,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate because, I mean, it really is the main problem with the NFTs on the chain is just how people treat the floor. And that's what I've been so impressed with, like on the AVAX side. And I keep telling people, just take note to how they trade. Like if people buy NFTs, they're not just going to take a loss in a couple days, or they're not just going to take a 20% gain. It's like, man, I'm going to
So
list it for 2, 3x, or else I'm going to hold it, you know?
so here's a funny thing going on right now. And this is what I just, me as a collector who is constantly trying to bring value to projects, and that's where I see my wins, is when I ape something and then bring value to it. Uh, we just watched over the last day and a half, Maze, who is an incredible member of our community, who has a following, takes notice of Giga Chads starting to go crazy. Oh, the floor is two Phantom. This was a free mint. Uh, Take a look at it. All of a sudden, floor goes to five Phantom. He's tweeting about it again. People start taking notice. Everybody starts tweeting about it, or like a couple people start tweeting about it. Floor gets up to 45. As a community, me as a collector, that where I get my wins, like for me, it's wake up, and as a community, we should all rally around the fact that a free mint just went to 45 Phantom.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to hold my pieces and I'm going to try to bring value to this project now. What happened with this? The floor immediately gets tanked down to like five Phantom again,
Yeah.
instead of anybody trying to bring value to it and talk about how awesome this is. That like I go back to Degener Rabbits and stuff. The Degener Rabbits price action from free to 1,000 Phantom only happens because we as a community rallied,
Yeah.
held this stuff, talked about it, brought other people in without bottoming out the floor at the same time. So you're dead on with that stuff. I think it's funny, like just as a collector who has arguably done pretty damn well in this space, when I see that, that is the majority of sentiment from people trying to do well in this space,
Yeah.
it just makes me kind of giggle.
So what happened, the original start of that with the Giga Phantom was somebody in our Discord posted something and it gave me an idea. I was like, that's a pretty good idea of how to actually add value because the problem was, originally we were like, we want to give labs for this, but not full labs. Like we intended to do like zero point 0.2 labs or something you know, per block of time. Basically like 0.2, 20% of what the other ones get. So, but then we realized because of our contract, the way it was written for labs, you couldn't do a partial amount. So we were kind of screwed. It just wasn't that complicated of a contract, so we couldn't do it. So then it came down to, well, how do you give, and I'm not going to give away all the alpha because I've still got to meet with Sarge today to really iron out the exact way we're going to go. But we've learned, well, how do you give things value? Okay, you give them utility, you do burning, and you give people something exciting that they can look forward to that also doesn't cost them money necessarily. Like if they were holding these, maybe they have to buy a few. So I'm just going to say this. Okay, I'll give the alpha. It's NFT alpha. I'm just going to go ahead. We'll give the alpha. Um, so not going to tell the full on how it's going to look and everything because I think there's a little bit that remains to be seen there. But there's going to be two more levels of this. So we've got the Giga Phantom, and then there's going to be one above it, and then another one like extra awesome. And we're even talking with Sarge about making those different levels, not just one image, but like mini generatives because there won't be many of them, but it'd be generative. And what you do to get the next levels is you have to burn a certain amount of the previous level. So it's going to shrink the Giga Phantom collection a ton, raising the floors as people sweep them to buy enough to burn. Um, and then the next collection, like the second one, to get the third, you're going to have to burn those. So you can't just have one. You're going to need multiple if you want to get to the third tier. So the third tier is going to be super rare. And so I'm super excited about it because for all three collections, you're getting the work of Potluck, you're getting Sarge's art, who's he has not produced like much on the generative side, and he's arguably the most legendary, like one of the most legendary artists in Fantom for his influence and impact on the space. So you're getting his work without the possibility of a mint, like where people go and pay. Like all it was one free mint that then becomes something special. But then also what this is going to do is it's going to fix the labs issue. So we're not at this point not going to have labs for the Giga Phantoms, but it's possible once they've been burned down a lot, maybe we'll offer that. But then we're going to have labs with a multiple. So not just one lab, but a multiple of labs for the second gen and then the third. And this will all be something, it's not like you have to wait a long time. Our goal is to have these both, the art ready, and then, let's do this thing. And all this doesn't make us any money. I mean, we don't even make a dime in secondary for this at Potluck. So we're just trying to give value. Like, yeah, like we don't make a dime. A team doesn't, whatever. Like Sarge makes the secondary value, and I mean, it's not much at all for him. We're just trying to do something fun,
Mhm.
and something that gets people excited because this market sucks. Like we've got some awesome paid mints coming up, but they're going to be fewer. I think fewer right now, just with how the market is. We're not going to have it every single Friday on Fantom and AVAX. But that's also because we have a couple big ETH mints coming up. And so I think it's important that we have some really fun stuff that just rallies the community and is awesome. So that's the alpha. That's what's coming. So people were asking me, how many do I need? And I told a couple people, hey, you better have at least 10. Um, and so, but you can see if there's multiple levels of burning, you might actually want quite a bit more than that. So buy it up and then realize, guess what people are going to do on Fantom? They're just going to drop the floors again. So just buy up a few, wait an
Uh,
hour, the floor will get dropped again, and keep it going.
I know you're sitting on more alpha because there's another thing happening on Campfire coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting on a lot more alpha there. Probably a lot more alpha than you have on
I don't
that
have
one.
any of it. I literally had the conversation with Teens this morning where he goes, "Should I fill you in?" And I go, "You know what? No, I'm kind
That's
of
awesome.
I'm kind of interested in the surprise in this one."
Yeah. I kind of wish I could get surprised on some of our stuff, but I think the only surprises we get is like when the mint doesn't work or something, it's a bad surprise. um, so yeah, I don't. I got to be very careful because this is really. I'll just go over the knowledge that's out there, and then one piece of alpha. Okay, and the piece of alpha I can share. I just haven't shared it yet because I've been busy moving, and I need to make a post about it. So here's the alpha. Here's how it works. If anyone's not understanding, there's going to be a mint by Teens on Acid. Incredible art. It's not. I mean, it's right up there with all his other collections. Incredible. It's going to be Friday on Campfire. It is going to be omni-chain, traversable. I'll go ahead and make the announcement here for the very first time. It will be the first mint in Fantom history, the first project in Fantom history, the first anything in Fantom history using links verifiable randomness function. So VRF, they just went live with it, and we're the first ones to use it. So we were the first on AVAX. We're now going to be the first on Fantom. So that's incredible. It was important to me that Teens got that distinction because of all he's done for us. And so they just announced that it was available yesterday, and we're like, all right, we're going to make it happen because Teens deserves that. For whatever it's worth. Having some history behind you, he definitely deserves it. So the mint is going to be, it's a weird time. It's at noon Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC, which is like the middle of the night for teens. But there's a reason, I'm not going to say right now, but there's a reason we're doing it at that time because there might be another mint that day a little bit later that we might be taking the fire out of on Joe Pegs. But anyways, so this might be, they might think they have the
So
mint of
much
the
I don't
century.
know. I love this.
Okay, so Joe Pegs thinks they have the mint of the century. They've been throwing shade at Campfire, and so they've been marketing this as like the best mint of the year, which I don't. That kind of puts down all the other artists out there on their
Is this
chain,
the People's Mint?
the people's ones. So we may be
Yeah.
doing our mint an hour beforehand, just maybe. we'll see. So, anyways, probably shouldn't have shared that, but that's how it is. So, uh,
Alpha.
here's the biggest thing. All right, whitelisting. We put it out there how to get whitelisted, but it's important to understand this. This is going to go fast. This collection, it's a big collection for what we normally do, but it's going to go really fast, and it's 3 per wallet maximum, 3 per wallet. So here's how you guys can play the game. Giving you the alpha to get whitelisted to buy in the pre-sale. For Acid Cats, Astro Kids, TOA card, any of Teens' projects, you'll be whitelisted. Platinum passes, whitelisted. So
What
we
happened?
both got rugged.
Hold
Are we
on, it's
live?
reconnecting. Hold on.
All
Yeah, my
right, good.
computer like shut off and then restarted. It's really weird. Oh,
Man.
I think we're back.
Baby. We back.
We're back.
We scared you?
We're back.
Okay. So, sorry, YouTubers, we got rugged. Okay. So platinum passes, Fantom, Avalanche, that gets you whitelist. And then the campfire, the dot fire domains, that gets you whitelisted. So normally, however many of these you hold, you get that many whitelist spots. But since it's max 3 per wallet, what's going to happen is as long as you hold 3 of any of those, any combination of 3 Acid Cats gets you the 3 spots. One of each gets you the 3 spots, whatever. So it's max 3 per wallet. So let's say you're like, well, I want to mint 15 of these. You better move 3 into 5 different wallets before 8 p.m. UTC today. Okay, that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to be doing some wallet manipulation. So it's hard to kind of explain, but that's what it is. 3 per wallet. So you'll need 3 of the whitelist available things. Now, here's the thing. The whitelist period is only 10 minutes. We'll give it a full 10 minutes. If the mint starts like a minute late, we'll give you the full 10 minutes, but the pre-sale is going to start at 3:50 p.m. UTC and the public sale at 4. And I think it'll be done by 4:10, 4:05, 4:02. Really. So that's all I'm going to share right now. It will be affordable, but you're going to want to manipulate your wallet situation before that snapshot. So 8 p.m. UTC, that's 4 p.m. Eastern time is the snapshot today. So you've got 3.5 hours to do some moving around your wallets. So yeah, that's the alpha I can give.
That's good alpha.
And I need to take that alpha for myself and move some stuff around because everything's in one wallet, and I certainly want to mint my fair share. So,
Yeah.
Yes. Whew.
Well, shall we get into topics?
Yeah, let's do it.
What are we starting with? What's minting? All right. What do I have on my list? So, I mean, I really like those space legends. I've seen a couple more legendaries come out of those space legends. I like the team behind them a lot. I like the art. Yeah, I want to support that project. The biggest one I think needs to be minted out like ASAP is Jim's Burgers. Hashi Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only 666 at 20 Fantom, and we now know the prices of Fantom. There's almost 300 minted of the 666, but like that's one of the OGs in this space, and like this collaborative art culture that Fantom has and is now pushing to other chains. That only happens with the likes of Jim's Discord in the early days, where Hashi Jim had this Discord and all of the Fantom artists were in it, collaborating, doing pieces. That is what brewed up that collaborative culture in all these artists, and that's why our kind of NFT space is going to be so successful in my eyes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited about the Phantom Alpha Fiends mint. It's not happening right now, but it's happening on Friday as well. So we got the Teens mint will be earlier in the day. And the Phantom Alpha Fiends, I think the party starts at 8 p.m. UTC, pre-sale at 8:30, public at 9. I believe is the schedule. And I don't know where they got that idea of doing a mint party and then a pre-sale for a half hour and then a public sale, but I mean that sounds like a great format. A lot of people do that. Yeah, the BB chickens. So they're a little bit explicit chickens. They're penis shaped chickens. I don't know if I can say that on the YouTubes, um, but it's a DeFi play, really,
Mm,
and it's pretty cool what they've done. And like the team or the artist, he's only taken 5%, I believe, or 7%, something really small, and then the rest is going to buy beats. And then there's going to be
mm,
beat submissions, and then they're going to take basically when people sell and do those things, like there's a whole mechanism to continue to like compound and get more beats. And so it's for me, yeah, the art, whether you like the art or not, the bottom line is it's got a unique cool DeFi utility that I
mm.
think has big potential. And so plus I'm stacking beats like crazy right now. So I was like, I got no reason not to mint a few of these because I like
Yep.
beats. So when you do the math, I think it's like 45 Phantom to mint, but then 40 of the Phantom goes to purchase beats. So essentially you're
Wow.
really buying it for
Yeah.
five, so that's your kind of your risk is five Phantom. So you're risking if this never accumulates in value, well then I wasted five Phantom. But that's a pretty low risk, high reward play, and it's also cool to support people in the ecosystem who are doing cool things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see the Evil Dogs, Evil Beer. We also have some alpha that I haven't told you that's coming up, which I really can't tell you because it's a follow up to maybe some of the teens alpha. So I'll tell you after Friday. But there's something coming with Potluck and Evil Beard that I'm pretty excited about. And Teens has been working with him, doing some coaching on helping him just refine because he's such a good artist with his line work. Like I don't think anyone makes eyes better than Evil Beard. He's
Mm,
incredible. Um, but then you add in this that collaborative, that mentoring effect of having somebody in the space is amazing with colors and everything to then help him kind of refine. And so I'm really excited to see what happens with him. But his initial collection, South said in there, the Evil Dogs, I think it's about a halfway minted almost. And so definitely it's only 20 Phantom. That's an awesome one. F Cancer by Funeral. Basically,
yep.
you're donating money to an organization helping put an end to cancer, and you get an NFT in the process. So that's an awesome thing that Funeral did. Um, but
I
yeah,
got two more that
no,
I want to mention.
yeah, go.
And you've got one. You just had your physical come in, I believe. Egg Emporium, I think,
Yeah,
is an incredible project. That is,
where is
uh,
that? Let me
it's
find
one
it.
of my. Not only is it one of my favorite digital NFTs that I have. Uh, I've yet to receive my physical, but looking at yours, I mean, just unbelievable. The
Yeah, give
quality of
me
the box, the quality of the egg, and then the fact that this is going to people on a side of the world that a dollar goes a long way. This
okay.
is huge.
So we got the box here. It's hand painted. So the box itself has just amazing, beautiful art from their region, like just beautiful. And so I like it because whatever mood I'm in, I can just flip it and do it. So then let's see here. Comes in some nice purple packaging,
Wow.
but I got the basketball legendary one.
Oh yeah, you got that one.
So hand
Wow,
painted,
what a
hand painted
piece!
Michael Jordan. It looks like he's got a halo there.
What a piece!
LeBron. I think Michael Jordan, LeBron. I mean, it looks dead on.
Yeah,
Then you got Kobe. Put the halo above him. Wait,
incredible.
can't do it.
Oh, you almost had it.
So, anyways, it can go with my Michael Jordan shrine behind me, and
What a
yeah,
piece!
dude,
Yeah.
super
So
epic.
for 250 Phantom, with Phantom at these prices, like you cannot go wrong with that. And it's a
Sure
very
you do.
small supply. Total supply is only 60 of them. The last one I want to mention is Fallacyverse. So they started on Phantom with a project, and I think the art is incredible. Now they're doing a project over on Harmony, and they're actually building a metaverse, the Fallacyverse, over on Harmony. And I believe it's kind of like Slottopia in terms of how it's going to operate. And I believe they have cross chain plans as well, having already started to build a cross chain community. I've talked to that team already. We're gonna have a potluck place in there, in their metaverse, which I think is super awesome for our community. Um, yeah, so I got to mention Fallacyverse as well.
Awesome.
And then we should mention a couple of other partners. Bobbleheads. Bobbleheads still minting, and I want to be doing some game nights soon. That kind of Super Smash Bros type of playing style is
Yeah,
so much fun. We just need more people minting them so we can play. Weaponized Countries, again, another situation of a. I love the game. I have a lot of fun playing it, but people need to mint it, so we got more players.
that's right.
Slotopia is just banging out updates. I think his big update is coming soon in terms of us being able to the loading screen getting really quick and loading skins really fast. I think that update's being pushed out in the next couple weeks, and condos are coming, and that's just the next major step in that metaverse.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. I'm so excited for him. And we had conversations the other day, and just kind of what the team's been building and what's coming in the next 6 months is like, it's really just mind blowing stuff. So, but I don't have any real alpha to share except the fact that every time I talk to him, I'm like, man, this guy is worth betting on. So whatever he
And
does, meant it.
speaking of this, running right into the underrated projects, many in the Phantom community would think of this as not an underrated project, but Umans.
Yeah,
We are about to head into New York NFT. Uh, I think she's putting through an awesome piece. I think the way she encapsulated the diversity of Umans within that piece is just incredible,
yeah,
and it really draws attention to the Uman character, which I think is very beneficial to all holders of Uman characters. Uh, but the metaverse avatars, and it was again, Slotopia mentioned it in her tweet. People are really not realizing how much work, money, time goes into usable 3D avatars. And you know, there's a lot of JPEGs that people buy that is never going to be a 3D avatar. You may think
yeah,
so, but like it's just logistically not possible. So the
yeah.
fact that we actually have usable 3D avatars coming that are going to match up in your metadata to your Uman, I think is huge, especially as Slotopia is about to kind of open up and we're really going to start to head into this metaverse world. And just before, I want to mention something because Illuminati Congo, we had a great conversation this morning, and it was all about the idea of when you go back in time to like ancient cultures, masks were a huge way for the community to come together. Um, it was really interesting how many old cultures everybody wore masks of some kind, and we had a really interesting conversation about are we re-entering that time frame as things always cycle throughout human history, are we now just entering this time frame where because society has kind of put everybody in boxes and now you almost can't look at somebody and just have a clear thought on their opinion because you've put them in a box based on their skin color or race or politics, whatever. So now we've re-entered this time of avatars, these masks again, where we're connecting on a human level through these masks, and we're now entering the time of like doxing ourselves again. But because we already connected through the avatars, like we're connecting on a human level, no matter the race, religion, politics.
Yeah, so that was deep, man. That's deep stuff for a little alpha session.
Yeah.
There's a real wise sage who said that when you meet a man, you rarely meet the man. What you meet is a carefully designed mask.
Mm,
And so, I think that's so true. You very rarely actually meet the real person. And I've really enjoyed that, especially like in normal life, man. You kind of spend your whole life with the same people and around the same types of people. And, it's tough to really engage yourself with people who are really different than you. And, you know, NFTs and crypto on Twitter and like the discords and the chats and the voice chats, I've been able to build relationships with people that are so different ideologically, politically, all those things, and none of it matters because that wasn't like the first thing that came up. We got to know each other and appreciate each other for what we have in common. And when you can appreciate what you have in common with people and see the beauty in people first, then those other things take their proper seat as being secondary. But yeah, I think our culture puts the divisive issues as like the primary factor and makes you judge people based on their opinions on certain things as like that's the value of them as a human, and just causes a lot of degrading. And so, yeah, I agree, man. I think this, I don't know that I'm like, I need to like dress up and be in the metaverse and like whatever, but like, I still don't know how much time I'll be spending there. But I do love the idea of taking these interactions we're having, and most people like just communicating on Twitter or just communicating on Discord in chat form, and then being able to actually be in a metaverse where they can interact with movement and expression and things, even if it's behind an ooming character or whatever. I think that's powerful, in uniting people and giving people experiences that allow them to be themselves in a safe environment, you know? So, we got deep there, man.
Well
Deep.
said. Yeah, so Umans is on my underrated projects list this week for that.
Let me add to that, and I don't know that he's underrated. I guess he is underrated. But FTM Dead, what I know is, Two Heads, Funeral, FTM Dead were all behind the Big Goblins. Incredible experience, like just awesome, fun project, and just awesome. What we needed at the right time, right?
Yeah.
But then with his, I don't know if they're called the Toon
Gimp
Gimps or the
Tunes?
Gimp Tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible collection. That's minting soon, right? Is it minting or a snap?
I believe it's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, whenever the mint is, I'm in. Yeah, if it's tomorrow, crap, I got to get some more liquidity because I got a few mints coming up that I need some liquidity for. But yeah, the legendaries in that collection, he's got a picture if you go through his disc or his Twitter, and like all the legend artists on Phantom, like everybody did a legendary. But it wasn't just that he had all these people doing them. They all took the same outline of the character, the base outline, and then made their legendary fit the base character. And I don't usually see that done. I see people just kind of go their own way with the legendaries, and that also has its own coolness about it. But the way that he did it, I think, is going to make the collection super special. So really excited for that. And then also Edge Technician with Woven. Um,
Yeah.
I personally, I don't think there's too many better humans out there than Edge. I love the guy. I've gotten to know him really well. Um, and he's a great, fighting hard for his family, fighting hard for his community here. And he's just an incredible gift to the Phantom space. And so the Squiddies, they're still minting, and there were tons of projects, including Potluck, that did like their little sidekicks for the Squiddies. And I got a Phantom Pecan sidekick, which I was really excited about because it was the first one he had ever drawn. The Pecan character for that is the first one he's ever drawn that's not pixel, and he did it specifically for that. And so it's really cool to see him even getting outside of his box. And he's incredible artist. So really excited for them. They're minting still as well. The Squiddies are, but just anything you can do to get behind Woven, support them, I think is that's a smart play.
And we all have beautiful goats to thank. These damn goats in everybody's wallets.
Yeah,
What?
so I know
That is
people.
hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into that. Freaking goat. So I'm glad. I hope that it was Woven's fault, and not, that the person hated Potluck, because I got messages from everybody. I mean, I got a message from ecologist, and I hadn't talked to a Phantom ecologist in like 4 months probably, and he's messaging me.
The fuck
And
are
then
these
he was
goats?
like, "Man, I'm thinking it was Potluck related, somebody getting after you guys, because this was in my cold, like hard, I don't know, cold storage wallet where I have my Potluck stuff." So one, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. He's got Potluck stuff in like cold storage." But then two, he goes, "Oh, never mind. They're in my hot wallet too that I've never bought your stuff with." So I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, "All right." So it wasn't us, probably. But I mean, our community meant everything on Phantom. So pretty much everyone in our community has a wallet full of dumbass goats. So I was just mad that I didn't have the most goats. I only had like 10. And some people said they got 20.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
so,
I do want to mention that if for because this is a bit of an eye-opening thing, right? For everybody that you can just be airdrops spam. I know I've seen people mention that you the gas is crazy, like you can't burn them, you can't transfer them. Uh, to be dead honest with everybody, best thing to do is not interact with them at all.
Yeah.
I know I've seen a lot of things on OpenSea where you'll be airdropped an NFT, and once you sign the transaction to do something, there's a bunch of approvals that are set in it, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're drained. So the best thing to do is do not interact with NFTs that you don't know what the fuck they are. Um, Again, it's
Yeah.
going to come down to like we're going to be learning a lot of different wallet practices. This opened my eyes up to the fact that people can basically just destroy your wallet. Uh, through these kind of airdrops,
Yeah.
it does get interesting. And there's new tools that are going to be made to, you know, we need hide features in marketplaces now to be able to
Yeah.
hide NFTs, similar to OpenSea. So we're going as a community going through a learning curve, and it takes, sometimes it takes these bad actors to kind of showcase. All right, well, we need to make a fix here before the next guy comes in.
Well, I was glad to see that it wasn't like some genius on the Phantom side because, like, at first we're like, man, this guy's actually pretty smart because he made it so you can't do these things. Because then somebody posted that this was just done on ETH. They called it some. They had a different image, and then they posted like, here's the how to on how to do it. And so, literally, I mean, the guy just took the contract and changed out the image and everything. But there was a step by step guide. But it shows you like, yeah, man, with smart people, they can really, yeah, you're right, man. They can mess with your wallet pretty bad. But what's funny is when I started going through there because of this, you start looking, and I didn't even realize how many random tokens I've been sent that were probably all like scam things to try to get me to do something. Some of them might have been legit. I don't know, but I wasn't going to interact. But I was like, I have a lot of spam or scam tokens. So, but anyways, let's artist spotlight. We already kind of just hit woven. I've got to be done pretty early on this, so I don't. Can we just skip to labs projects? Because I want to hit what we've got coming up with Arbiters of the Deep. So we have Mr. Minded, incredible artist. I'll show you right here. Hold on.
I got one on my corner too.
Yeah, yeah. So you got one. I have one. Amazing physical. Like this is just beautiful painting on the canvas. Like that's not a print. That's incredible. So him and Minez, who's the lore master, the absolute beast of lore. He's done like all of our audio recordings for like written the lore, done the audios for Potluck. I know he's done it for other projects now. And just like Chronic is like a lore master, and Minez just he probably just wakes up in the middle of the night with dreams about lore and has to write them down or record them. He's just incredible creative mind. And they've got this project, and it's not just like a one-off. They have this whole. I mean, they have it planned. They have the generations planned. When they came to us months ago with this idea, they really had before we were even doing cross chain stuff. Really, they had ideas on how to go cross chain in the future with it, and how to bring in more users. And the art is really unique and different than something we've done before. And they have 25 legendaries. People like I think Septa, Limit Break, Selic, Teens, go on and on. Have legendaries in it, and it's only 555 on Phantom and 555 on AVAX, and it'll be next Wednesday. So we'll talk a lot more about this. We'll have probably an NFT Alpha show on Tuesday, hopefully talking about it too the day before. But yeah, going to be awesome. And then the other bit of alpha is in July. So I'm guessing maybe 3 weeks out from now. Could be four, but we'll be launching Hey Yun Lee's Cream Owl collection on ETH, which will be our first mint on ETH. We're really excited about it. There's a lot more to come from that, but just know for our ETH collections to be whitelisted, you'll need 2 platinum passes. So it can be one on AVAX, one on Fantom, or 2 on one chain. So let's say you own 20 platinum passes, you'll get 10 whitelist spots. So that's how we're going to play that. Ultimate pass holders are of course whitelisted, and then her 101 holders and stuff will be whitelisted as well. But That's going to be a big step for Potluck. Same type of thing for Southern Empire. It's, man, if we can have success there, the money that's going to come in on secondary to help support everything Potluck Protocol could be awesome. What we can do with the metaverse plays, with that, with a presence on ETH. We've got a meeting on Friday of some alpha. I'm not going to say what the project is or whatever, but we're meeting to secure land and sandbox and a team to build out basically a metaverse for us. Which, man, if we close this deal Friday, that's going to be freaking huge. Going into those mints with already sandbox nailed down for us is going to be awesome. But it's not about leaving Fantom and AVAX. It's about what it means for all the projects. I mean, for me, if we go there and pick up 3,000 holders who are used to spending a lot of money on projects, and we bring them into the Fantom and AVAX ecosystems because they get in our discords, they see our other projects, they just become part of the Potluck family, as so many people do when they come in for one mint, and then they discover everything else. I think it's going to be massive. And I think Heian Lee has a style that's going to be received really well there. And so, yeah, just really excited about it. It's a huge deal for us. So, those aren't like the next 2 mints. We'll probably have a mint in between. We're finishing up Bonono's collection, so that will probably mint in between that. But Arbiters of the Deep next Wednesday, going to be incredible. Obviously, we talked about the Teens Mint this Friday. And then, ETH, man, we're going to freaking do it. So I'm
Yeah,
pumped.
I had an incredible conversation with Sept and Limit Break about their travels over to, or their soon travels over to Ethereum, and it was awesome. I mean, very much in the same approach of like, none of us want to pay influencers. We want a very grassroots, almost, again, move this art first Fantom cross chain AVAX, like this very collaborative culture uh, over to Ethereum. So I can't stress enough that it's going to be our community. It's going to be, seeing people on AVAX and seeing people on Fantom coming together and trying to hype these mints up. It's going to take our whole community, um, and the more that we can come together as a community to to try to get success for these projects, the more that your Ethereum and Solana collectors are going to look at this and go, "Are you kidding me? Like, Fantom and AVAX people are coming together on a project? Like, that's got to hold weight."
Yeah, no, I agree. I think these strategic things we've been doing, like the link stuff, did we need verifiably random mints? No, I mean, on chain, do we have to have that on Fantom and AVAX where we already have a community that trusts us and we have a randomizer? No. Well, why do we do it? Well, we did it because, like, I have a meeting today in 3 hours with the Chainlink marketing team to how do we now market this? Like, what blog posts do we do? What Twitter posts do we do to 800,000 plus people that follow their Twitter? Like, what do we do to highlight the team that has been the first to implement us on the last 2 chains, like, first to implement their features on the last 2 chains they launched on? And so the whole thing is like, why do it? Well, we do it for, like, we want people to know about us. We want the ecosystem to grow. Like, I fully believe, right now we're right at 4,300 holders. Well, what happens when accounts with 800,000 people start tweeting about you, start doing blogs about you? Like, what happens to holders of our NFTs that maybe haven't been so commercially successful, but the art's awesome? When 2,000 new holders come in and say, "Oh my gosh, this collection only has 1,000 pieces or 800 pieces, and at these prices, it's like $5 to buy or
Yeah.
$10 to buy." I mean, the possibilities are endless. And so the thing is, we just got to keep our head down. We got to keep working to build and to earn these things, not to go out and, like, seek them before we've earned them, but to do the things that other people aren't doing, to earn the audience, for our ecosystem. And I think our community sees what we've been doing and knows that we're trying our hardest. But it's a bear market. I understand, like, the times are not going to be as fun probably for most people over the next months until this stuff turns around economically. but we can still have a lot of fun building projects, having great mints, having fun, flipping those mints for a Fantom or AVAX or ETH profit, which may not be as much real life money, but man, let's still build. Let's have fun because we're here. Like I mean, every day it's just how can we continue to grow this thing? And the nice thing is, our protocol is not going anywhere. We're not depending on. It's not like we have team tokens. We're not paying ourselves in labs, and when we run out of labs, we're screwed. Um, we're here to build something awesome together, and like we're gonna do this thing. So I'm just super excited. This Friday is gonna be epic. Can't stress that enough. Like the market may suck. It may even get worse by Friday. Who knows? But Friday is going to be a lot of freaking fun. And between the Teens Mint and then the Phantom Alpha Fiends Mint, it's going to be a great day. And then the Gimp Tunes tomorrow. It's going to be a great next 48 hours for Fantom and AVAX NFTs for sure.
Yeah, you'd think tough times on the ecosystem, but I'm kind of here having a blast right now.
Yep. Same here, man. I mean, yeah, someone Bones said like times are what you make them. And I really believe like tough times reveal character. They don't give you character. Like they don't give you character. They reveal it. They reveal, and that's what we're seeing in the ecosystem is like who's here, who's really like who's tough, and yeah.
I gotta say, in about I guess an hour from now, make sure everybody's following Gotham Apes because
Yeah.
I'll be co-hosting the Broom Closet episode with him. Queen Uman's coming on, so we are going to be having an awesome conversation with Queen Uman today in about an hour before she heads into NFT New York City.
Yes, that's awesome. I'm excited. I'll be tuning in, man. Well, I gotta hop off. Got a meeting with the foundation. Gotta talk to them. So. Yeah.
And
Talk
I
to
want
you
to touch on
guys.
that. It was awesome that get support from Ava Labs and Avalanche. That was great to see them support your tweet about the chickens.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. That was super cool to just be recognized by him. The first day after our first conversation with them was like that day or the day before. So yeah, awesome to get that support. So all right, well, for Tinfoil, True Voodoo, Plot Twist in the back, making it all happen, and we're excited. We got a great week ahead of us. So for NFT Alpha, peace out. We'll see you next time.